Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. The world is still getting out of the root shock of what is happening in Ukraine. I'm talking about the invasion of Russia into Ukrainian territory. In fact, the capital city. Looks like Nigeria have a situation in our hands. Sovereignty here is now being looked into as Nigerians are already crying out over invasion that is going on right now. Looks like the president and those governing the government of Nigeria needs to look into this very quickly before it escalates to something else. Well, before we go into the news proper to find out what it is that is making Nigerians to scream at the top of their voices, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, Cameroonian army security operatives have encroached and seized farmlands from Nigerians in border communities, Sahara reporters learned. Some residents of Kwaja, a border community in Adamawa State, have cried out urging the Nigerian government to recover their land from the Cameroonian authorities. The residents have vehemently protested, saying they were denied access to their farmlands. Their protest message says, "Maintain ICJ position. We agreed to the 1932 Thompson Merchant Declaration. We request for protection from Nigerian government." The community alleged that Cameroonian officials, as at 14th of February 2022, erected demarcation signs in Kwaja, Kinga, Jugma, Fajawa, Gezia villages in the Mobi South local government area, known for the cultivation of Irish potatoes. The spokesman for the community, Dr. Ibrahim Gwaja, said a letter requesting the Nigerian government to protect the rights and interests of the people has been addressed to the federal and state government and Cameroon Mixed Commission on the boundary, stressing that the community was amalgamated as part of the Northern Protectorate in 1914. The letter agreed, or rather, I think that again, the letter agrees with the Thompson Merchant Declaration, which the International Court of Justice accepts as the correct instrument defining the boundary in Kwaja area against watershed line. The letter reads in part, and I quote, "In respect of the ICJ judgment, we stand to argue that our people from generation have never in any case spread beyond Nigerian boundary. We would not continue to watch our community tortured by confiscation of our shelter and farmland." Nigerians have started talking about it. This one here said, "I don't know why I find this funny at this point in time." This one here said, "Local wahala. America and AU should start sanctioning and granting finances back." I don't understand what it's trying to say here. This one here is saying, "Very soon we will take," I don't know. A lot of people are just making a joke of this. This one here is saying, "Low lives here are shouting Ukraine this, Russia that, whereas Cameroon soldiers are busy taking over their Nigerian from every angle." All right, this is not nice. I could still remember some years back, I think something similar happened, but this time around it was during the reign of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, where I think still the same Cameroon, they had to go, I think, Bakassi Peninsula, somewhere in Cross River State, yes, Cross River, where it got to the point that the then governor of Cross River State was Donald Duke, Cross River State Governor Donald Duke was then on seat, where he had to, collaborate with the then president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, to, report the fact that the people in local government called Bakassi then, I don't know if it was later changed, was they're encroaching on their land. And I think that's part of the thing that made Cross River lose their oil well, because that particular angle of Cross River had a lot of oil. Hence, when Cameroonian came in, a lot of papers, history was sought out. They had to go through history. They dragged it and all that. The way the thing was going to get very messy and all that. So to avoid problems, I think the then president looked into it. Okay, can you just let's just go. That was how the lost Cross State lost oil wells, and even the people were displaced because at some point, how can people of Cross River now, they were not told to come back into Nigeria, that they're Nigerians, but the land belongs to Cameroon. That was actually a borderline that is carved into Cameroon. So those guys were now relocated into, I think till today, they're still having issues with relocation. They were now relocated into another community within Nigeria, okay, within Cross River, and that was how they lost the land, and something similar is playing out. Now, bit by bit, if this continues, I'm curious really. I thought we have immigration officers, those who, mount the borders are borders. Now, if that kind of, you can imagine, Cameroonian army military are already on the borders, coming in, and according to the eyewitness, where according to Star Reporters view, they encroached to the point that there was no military, no security agents or agency that is even manning those borders, which means as well people can just move into Nigeria, because in that of Cameroon, that there's their own border part of the whole land, they're being protected by the Cameroonian army, which means those in Nigeria can't even move into Cameroon, but those in Cameroon can move into Nigeria without a restraint, without anybody questioning them. And we are over many million Nigerians, over 200 million Nigerians, and we're looking for personnel, big personnel from Nigerians. I'm sure they want to work. And all our borderlines should be properly guided. Look, when they keep encroaching, it's bit by bit. By the time you go and check the proper survey plan of the borderline between the both countries, you find that they've really encroached. Now, it will now be difficult for them to let go of Nigerian land, simply because at the beginning, these borders, where you share boundaries, if there's no erect the wall. If you don't want, erect massive wall to cover Nigerian lands. Then put in one or two soldiers, for crying out loud. Now, the soldiers that should be mounting it, the military officers that should be mounting that place, the customs, immigration officers that should be mounting that place, they have probably been deployed to southeast. This is really sad, really. That did not become a norm. Though it's in another part of Nigeria, but then it's still part of Nigeria. That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our conversation. What's your take?